Stepped on her tail earlier.
Oh.
Didn't make her go away. Yeah. Hello, welcome to Tim Anderson Horse Training. Today we're going to talk about what I feed. There's a couple things I want to say. He needs to be quiet. There's a couple things I need to say before we get started. One is I feed for my purpose, which is I need to get nourishment in the horse for a reasonable amount of money because I have quite a few horses that I feed. Plus, I also want to do what I can to help with any stomach issues they might have because of ulcers with being in training and things like that. So just because this is what I feed, this isn't necessarily a feed program that would work for you. You might want to take pieces of it or change a piece here and there. So another thing that I want to say is what I feed in my region might be different than what you need to feed in your region. What's available here in the southeast is going to be different than what's available in the southwest or something like that. So the feed program is going to depend on location, and it's going to depend on what you're using it for, what you're using your horses for. So the first thing I want to talk about is hay. Because I try to get most of my nourishment in my horse in grain and alfalfa cubes, I don't look for a real high quality hay. I just want an average horse hay, horse quality hay. This is a mixture of Bermuda and Bahia. What I'm trying to get in here in the hay is the roughage that a horse needs. Needs about 2% of his body weight. Between 1.5% and 2% of his body weight in roughage. So that's what I want to do with the hay. I'm not really trying to get the nourishment in hay. So the next thing I want to talk about is grain. I got my cheat sheet right here. Now the grain that I use, I'm going to talk about pounds and I'm going to talk about scoops. Most people say you always need to feed by weight, which I understand, it makes sense. But there is 14 scoops per 50-pound bag, and that never varies. So if you divide 14 into 50, you know how much a scoop weighs. So the grain that I use, I always feed a pellet. I don't care to feed a sweet feed. I prefer pellets. I don't want to get the feed in the horse in the form of carbs and sugars. I want the feed to be in energy products that the horse can use more efficiently. I know, like as far as carbs, you get kind of a sugar high on carbs and then you get a sugar crash. So I don't like to feed carbs, I like to feed a pellet. Now, this particular pellet that I feed, I'm not going to say what brand it is, I'm going to say characteristics because the brand may not be available in your area of the country and really the brand doesn't matter. It's the specifics that matter of this feed. This is a 12% protein, 8% fat pellet, and a 50-pound bag cost me $13. So 50-pound bag is $13, 12% protein, 8% fat, 14 scoops in a bag, and this grain is what I got on my sheet. It's right at 900 calories per pound. So if you want to, you can do the math and convert that, and you can figure out how many calories I'm getting in. So I feed 1.5 scoops in the morning. This is 1.5 scoops. for breakfast, and then I also feed 1 scoop of alfalfa cubes. So the alfalfa cubes that I feed, I've had the quality varies drastically from one brand to another. I've gone to several different brands, and here in the part of the country that I'm in, this past year, a lot of the country had a drought. We had rain. From January to July, we had our yearly average of rain. We had a lot of rain, and I had trouble getting alfalfa cubes in that were not mildewed. So I had to change up my alfalfa cubes several times over the years to get good alfalfa cubes. A 50-pound bag of alfalfa cubes cost me $18, and there's 24 scoops in a bag. So you can do the math and figure out how much that cost me per scoop. Alfalfa cubes have right at 970 calories per pound. So, and this is 1 scoop. So when I feed breakfast in the morning, the horse gets this many pellets and gets this much alfalfa cubes. Now, I don't wet my alfalfa cubes. You hear a lot of people talking about, do you wet them or do you not wet them? I do not wet them. Doesn't make any sense to me to wet them. The argument is they're dehydrated, so they need to be rehydrated before you feed. Well, hay is dehydrated too. You don't wet hay. So it doesn't make any sense to wet the alfalfa cubes. The other argument is when you wet them, they swell up. Well, I've put them in a bucket and put water on them and wash them. They don't swell up. They fall apart. I don't wet my alfalfa cubes. I've never had a problem feeding dry alfalfa cubes. I do provide a lot of water in the stall, so I'm sure that helps, so that if the horse, it soaks up water, then the horse gets access to water. Now the other thing is, as far as choking because of the size, that could be a problem. As far as the horse eats it, it can choke on the alfalfa cubes. But if a horse is going to choke on alfalfa cubes, it can choke on the pellets also. So I'll feed them dry, and I've not had a problem with that. So this would be breakfast. 1.5 scoops of pellets, 1 scoop of alfalfa cubes. Now I feed again in the middle of the day at lunchtime. I give everybody another scoop of alfalfa cubes at lunchtime. And at supper time, I feed another 1.5 scoops of pellets. So in the process of a day, a horse will get 15 to 20 pounds of hay, 3 pounds of pellets, or three scoops of pellets rather, and 2 scoops of alfalfa cubes. Now, it cost me $5.70 a day to feed a horse, as far as the grain and the alfalfa cubes. That doesn't count the hay. So you might want to adjust that for what you're wanting to feed and what you're needing to get into the horse as far as feed. So if you have any questions about feed, put them in the comment section below. If you've got any comments, let me know what you feed. How is your feed program different? And why is your feed program different? Is it because of what's available in your area? Is it because of you have a different program and you need to get different food into your horse? So I want to thank you for watching today. Please click the subscribe button and click the thumbs up button. Let us know that you liked the video. Until next time, thank you for watching.